Hello everyone! Today, you'll see why messing with the primal forces of nature is a bad idea. We've collected stunning videos from different corners of the globe to show just how terrifying and unpredictable our planet can be. Let's get started. Few things demonstrate nature's raw power like massive tornadoes. This colossal twister, spotted in Kansas in 2016, made police patrol cars look like mere toys in comparison.
Okay, let's get up to it. It's gonna rope out here. It's gonna rope out. Wait, she can't get in. Hold on.
The moment the tornado dissipates is nothing short of magical. Few things are more startling than a lightning bolt hitting your car out of nowhere. In Ningbo, China, a driver had a terrifying experience during a heavy rainstorm. Dashcam footage showed a powerful lightning strike hitting the hood of his car, causing the driver to slam on the brakes. Luckily, he wasn't injured, though the car wouldn't start after the strike. When lightning directly hits a vehicle, it often causes an electrical surge, damaging the car's electronic systems. Then there are times when nature has its own plans. You might be setting up to capture a beautiful storm panorama when lightning strikes just 10 meters away. Avalanches are among the most dangerous threats climbers face. In a startling video captured by tourists in Pakistan, you can witness the terrifying sight of a massive wall of snow rushing toward them at incredible speed. Fortunately, everyone escaped unharmed, but this serves as a stark reminder. An avalanche, moving at 30 meters per second, leaves little chance of survival. Nature can strike so suddenly that people are left completely powerless, as happened in New Delhi, India's capital. Heavy rainfall caused a small stream in the eastern part of the city to overflow, and within hours it had carved out a massive sinkhole. Onlookers watched in shock as the sinkhole consumed soil and trees, eventually weakening the foundation of a nearby two-story building, which collapsed into the chasm. Thankfully, the residents had evacuated just in time.
गाड़ी भाई के पास ही है। कोई भी नहीं है ना, घर में कोई नहीं है ना, घर में तो कोई नहीं है ना।
In another case, the Vanau River in Angang province eroded a large section of its bank one Saturday morning, sweeping away 16 houses. Fortunately, residents had spotted cracks in the ground a few days earlier and evacuated before disaster struck. It's hard to believe, but a massive boulder came to rest just inches from a house. Had it rolled just a bit farther, it would have destroyed the building entirely. This devastating landslide hit the small northern Italian town of Tramin, where generations of farmers had grown grapes undisturbed by the surrounding mountains. But one January day, 4,000 cubic meters of rock suddenly crashed down the cliffside. While some buildings were spared, a stone barn that had stood for nearly 300 years was completely demolished. Even ancient mountain ranges like the Alps can be unpredictably dangerous. An incredible rescue unfolded in southeastern Kenya, within the vast stretches of Tsavo East National Park. A truck driver attempting to cross the Galana River was unprepared for the severe weather. Heavy rains and storms had caused the river to swell, intensifying the current. As a result, the tanker lost control and overturned in the middle of the fast-moving waters. Sometimes, escaping the wrath of nature feels like something out of an action movie. One such dramatic event took place in the mountains of Sichuan Province, China. A massive landslide swept down the mountains and slammed into a tunnel despite protective barriers. Landslides are incredibly dangerous, often moving at several meters per second. This is why you should never take active volcanoes lightly, especially ones like the one on Tanna Island. It's almost impossible to predict when an eruption might begin. As a man set up his camera dangerously close to the crater, a sudden explosion sent hundreds of lava bombs flying into the air. He was lucky the scorching debris didn't head his way. There are moments when history unfolds right before your eyes. In the spring of 2022, a centuries-old bridge in northern Pakistan gave way, unable to withstand the force of a swollen river. Locals and rescue workers could only watch helplessly as the raging waters demonstrated the raw power of nature. This is what a moderate storm in the severe northern seas looks like, with waves reaching around 3 meters in height. Here's what could happen if you build the house in a flood-prone area. Retaining walls can delay disaster, but if the land isn't suitable for building, nature will ultimately have its way.
Singsan petrol pump shop.
Where the lounge is, alright? That's what it's batting. Yeah, so where the lounge is, move the lounge out if you have to and get against that wall. Alright, always in behind the lounge. Okay? Alright.
Hail might seem like an ordinary weather phenomenon until it starts smashing your car windows. Imagine the shock of a woman sitting in her car when this bombardment began. It's hard to miss a tornado as it approaches. The key is to stay calm and seek shelter away from anything that could become dangerous. An impressive wedge tornado was observed in Uruguay. Sometimes, the diameter of these tornadoes can even exceed their height.
Hail seems like a pretty ordinary weather phenomenon, until it starts smashing.
That's what makes hurricanes in urban areas especially risky. You never know if the roof of the building next door will hold up. In the summer of 2023, a severe hailstorm hit cities in southern Germany. The hail was so heavy it had to be shoveled off the sidewalks like snow. Cars parked outside suffered the most damage, and a number of trees were brought down. This incident shows how attempts to control nature can sometimes backfire. The river broke through its concrete channel, disappearing into underground cavities and posing a threat to the surrounding areas. Yet a second. A hurricane literally tore the roof off a school building in Poland.
It's
a shocking sight to behold. This caravan was caught in a flood in southwestern Germany.
Man uns hier eben berichtet hat von 2016, der Wohnwagen wird jetzt in diese Brücke einschlagen und wahrscheinlich dabei zerstört werden. Hoffentlich ist dieser Wohnwagen leer, da ist noch ein Vorzelt dran. Den zerreißt's in diesem Moment, den hat's quasi wie...
The tributary of the Rhine was so swollen that it crushed the vehicle against a stone bridge support, as if it were a flimsy tin can. The strength of the floodwaters was truly remarkable. Even though the next scene was the result of a controlled explosion in a quarry, it was incredibly impressive, just like the bravery of the excavator operator. Strong winds turned a simple ski lift ride into an extreme adventure. Imagine the shock of the people when the streets of their city transformed into raging rivers. Water gushed from everywhere, even pouring out of shop windows. This sudden flood struck Genoa, a port city in northern Italy, in 2010. A sea storm caused an extraordinary surge, and the Pradel, the Zanino, and Moner rivers overwhelmed the underground drainage system, completely flooding 2 historic districts, as well as basements and ground floors. Many cars were swept away by the floodwaters for hundreds of meters. At times, the weather can be utterly unsuitable for such activities. The storm in Scotland turned the stretch tent into a mere plaything.